Hi guys, it's Rachel with Rachel's Truth. I wanted to come on real quick, actually in front of the high school. I'm going to be going in soon, and just let you know, or just apologize. I've been doing this in my car for the last few videos or so, and I randomly did it before. Originally, my videos were at home, and I was comfortable doing it there. But since then, I don't have the time nor the space to do it at home. So I have to work it in where I can get it in. And I did pause for a brief second, and I wasn't posting any videos because I just couldn't figure it out when to get it in. So now I've started this job. I have to get out the house, and so I got here actually early. I was able to beat traffic. I did not record in my car. I wasn't aware that when I'm driving and the GPS goes off that you can't hear me. No one said anything. Thank God for Janice. She left a comment and made me aware. Obviously, I wouldn't be posting something or whatever if you couldn't hear me. But I do take some blame for that because I don't listen back to my videos because I don't like watching myself. I pay attention to myself as I do record, and if I'm satisfied because it's just off the top, then I just post it because of time. I don't have time to edit. I don't have time to do all that fun stuff. I've tried it before. It's very time consuming. So I just, do what I can do. So, it definitely is a learning process. And, I'm just continuing to post just for consistency. I didn't have any other goal in mind besides the consistency and just getting some education out there, for folks. But I am reviewing Married at First Sight. I know I spoke before in the past about adding other shows, but I couldn't really find shows that I was passionate about. But I have started watching Real Housewives of Potomac and Love and Marriage Huntsville. If anyone watches those shows, I was thinking about doing some reviews on different things for those shows. I feel that I've gone through a lot, even though I'm young. I've gone through a lot in my life where I can relate to a lot of the things where I have so much experience that I can help someone else, right? So that's why I just felt like, this would just be a good opportunity to use these shows in order to help someone else. And in the same sense, I could, help myself because it is definitely therapeutic to talk about these things. So I just wanted to come on and talk about actually Myrla. This show has been going on. I haven't really had a chance to talk about Myrla, but I'm noticing that a lot of people are on these Facebook groups, and now they're like, oh my gosh, Myrla is warming up to me. I'm starting to like her. But us over there on Janice's channel and all the cousins, we already knew. We were already liking Myrla, understanding Myrla, where she was coming from, and we didn't see it as a negative thing because a lot of these females are thinking with emotions instead of their minds. They're seeing this man and they're like drooling. And he's not even really someone to like drool about unless I guess you're desperate. But they're seeing this man and they're drooling, and they're not thinking with their minds. They're thinking between their legs. They're thinking with their emotions. When in all actuality, everything that he says confirms the type of man he is. From the beginning of saying that he doesn't want a wife that is materialistic, and his friends saying that he's cheap. And when you bring up these topics in these groups, these women are trying to fight you tooth and nail because you have come to a conclusion about him that they don't see because they're blinded to what he looks like. And that's the problem. And that's why a lot of people get into these relationships and they're so blinded because they're not thinking with their minds. They're not paying attention to the red flags. And the red flags are there. The red flags have been there for Gil since the beginning. For a lot of the different men, women on this show, if you just pay attention, if you just ask the right questions, you have to believe people when they tell you something. And that's the thing. A lot of people, they hear it and they think that they can change it, so they don't really believe it, you know what I mean? Or they hear it and they just don't really take it in, you know? They're just so blinded, like I was saying. So with them, Myrla, you know, she's taking her time. She's not going to do something that she doesn't want to do. She's not going to feel pressured. She's going to do what she wants to do comfortably. And a lot of people saw fault in that. And it's just like, if that's who she is, she can only be herself, right? So why should she be someone else for the television? Why should she be someone else for Gil, for the experts? Because at the end of the day, it's her marriage. They're not in the bed with her. The only person is Gil. But at the end of the day, she still doesn't know him and she still needs to make a decision, right? So now everyone's in love with Myrla. And it's only because she's starting to soften up towards Gil on television, right? It's only because she got drunk and she started to be more vocal, right? But when she was herself, it was a problem. And that's the thing. A lot of people want you to be what they want you to be instead of you being yourself. And it's just like, no, I can only be me. I can only be my authentic self. And that is it. And that's the thing. Like, when you listen to other people and not be who you are called to be, or who you are, you know, who you have been molded into, then you don't really get that authenticity from or however you say it. You don't really get that from your partner, because they're feeding off of what you're giving them, which is not the real you. So they're thinking that's who you are. And then when you finally settle into who you really are, they may not like it. So that's where it comes in, where people are putting their best selves forth at the beginning of relationship, and then as time goes on, they get back to themselves, and then the person's like, what happened to the person who did this? What happened to the person who said they like to work out? What happened to this? What happened to that? You weren't really being your authentic self. You were being your best self, but you weren't being honest with yourself, with who you are, right? And it happens a lot. I mean, I've been through it. In many relationships, I was like constantly putting forth my best self. I was putting forth the self of what I wanted to do, of what I tried to do, of what my goals were, of what I wanted to be consistent with, but I was not in fact consistent at that time. So as the relationship went on and on and on, you know, I went back to my normalcy. And it's just like, oh, I thought you were writing a book. And I've struggled with that for years, with writing a book. But eventually I realized that, you know, the book couldn't be finished because there were still some things that I needed to go through. And there's still some things that I'm still going through that need to be included in the book, that I need to get through in order to finish the book. So that's another thing that, you know, has been taking up my schedule, trying to get the time in to do the book. So I just, you know, feel like, no, I'm on the road. I can actually record my book, you know, verbally, and then, you know, transfer it. And then if I get here early, do a video or whatever. But I'm still trying to work out my schedule and figure it out. And I have a toddler at home, so I have to master that. But yeah, that's what I just wanted to talk about. Be yourself. Don't allow people to make you be something you're not. And, you know, I just think it's hilarious that everyone is in love with Myrla now. No, stay where you were. Keep thinking how you were thinking before, because she's still the same person. She just said that she needed time. At the end of the day, I feel like she's acting. I felt like that for a while now, because in my mind, the way she thinks and how strategic she is, she would not settle for Gil. because she asked for a certain type of man on the same level as her. He asked for someone who wasn't materialistic. They are opposites in a sense, right? So if he continues to complain and he continues to talk down on her because of liking nicer things, that's going to be a huge turnoff for her, red flag. I don't think that she will blast him on live TV, because like I mentioned before on other channel last night, Janice, with Janice and Auntie's Advice. Well, no, yeah, on there, I was saying like Myrla likes to help the less fortunate, so she's not going to do that to him, you know. And he is the less fortunate, right? And so she's not going to do that. She's, you know, professional. She's trying to maintain her image. She, you know, because of the job she has, so on and so forth, right? So she's not going to do that. So I can understand that. So I just can't wait until everyone sees that it's really going to be over and that these two do not match. Everyone's in love. Oh my goodness. Da, 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 da. No. At the end of the day, like, no. And I thought it was really weird that Myrla showed up to a counseling session drunk. That's one thing I did not like. She's been doing very well this whole time, but showing up to a counseling session drunk was really weird to me, because like, it's a counseling session. Who shows up to a counseling session drunk? And everyone's like, oh, she wasn't drunk. She was just feeling nice. No, she was drunk. Do you know what drunk is? She's like falling, like basically stumbling and gonna fall and trip. She's being silly and goofy and acting weird and crying excessively. Like, you can't tell me that she's not drunk. Like, it's weird, the things that people will argue with you about. So, yeah, I thought that was really weird that she did that. And I feel that she may have been nervous about her acting, and she had a few drinks. All right, guys, I'm going to start heading in. Let me know what you think. You know, like the video if you like it. Comment below. Let me know what you think. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Share this video on your social media. All right, guys, I'll be talking to you soon. I know tonight we have a new episode, so I'll be tuning in, and we'll follow up with that. Have a good day. Bye.